Bertie, what is it? Episode...
Oh my god, I'm not ready. Hang on.
Episode 76.
Episode 76, yes it is. 76.
And today we were celebrating the wonderful Bective Mill.
Yes.
And everything that goes on down there. We talked about yoga. We talked about geodomes.
Yeah.
We talked about Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
What else did we talk about? Snails.
Yeah.
Mills.
Incredible story.
Mills. Yeah. Not windmills.
She's been through everything. The Bective Mill has been through everything.
It's just unbelievable what
It
that
needs
place.
to be a Netflix show. If they can do one about Wrexham, why not Bective Mill?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, get Ryan Reynolds down to Bective Mill.
Yeah.
What do you think? So Sinead Norman was with us today, and we talked about Bective Mill. Sinead, we now go about naming the podcast.
Okay.
Right? So you can take a crack at it if you
Yeah.
want.
Redeem yourself after the waffle
It
game.
can be punny. It can be punny. It can be funny. It can be serious.
funny.
Funny. It can be punny. What?
Okay, who's going first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
So here's my suggestion.
Go.
It's you gots to visit Bective Mill. You gots to visit
Okay.
Bective Mill.
Oh.
You like that?
Yeah, that's
There
pretty
was 2 laughs. Right, Bertie, go on.
good. The probe intent.
Oh, jeez.
Damn it! He's done it again.
How can we not go with that one?
That's so
Yeah,
good.
that
All right, go on, John. Try.
Bective gone through the mill.
Oh, that's good.
Because
Yeah,
you
I
have
like
gone
that.
through the mill.
Yeah.
No, we get it. You didn't have to explain it.
Damn it, you can edit that part out.
I think I like your one though. Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't, yeah. Sinead, what's yours?
Oh, I don't know. I can't think straight. I actually really like the probe. What was it again? Probe.
The probe intent.
The probe intent.
The thing is, remember, if you're
That
going to
would really-
tell people that you're on a podcast,
Yeah.
that's going to
Yeah.
be the name of it.
Oh.
Yeah, we did have a lovely chap from America and we call it nipple tips.
Mom, I'm on a podcast. It's called Nipple Tips. Sorry. So
Deciding. You can decide
Yeah,
because
you
it's
get
your
to pick.
episode.
It is
So
business. You're going to be recommending this to your customers.
Yeah, we
So
won't fall
it's,
out with you.
it's either
Okay.
you gots to visit Bective Mill, the probe intent, or what was your one?
Bective gone through the mill.
Well, that's a good one too. So you get
God,
to
I
pick.
really. My heart says probe intent, and then my head says been through the mill. I don't know. Bective gone through the. But then I don't want people to feel sorry for me either. You know, people. Screw it. We'll go with.
Probe intent.
Yeah, well
Probe
done.
intent.
Well done to be great. All right, so I'll let you do the honors.
So-
Episode 76.
The probe intent.
Jesus.
Yeah, waffle me this, waffle me that. Thinking on the topic that you could have had. The only game that makes me feel so alive. I'm guessing for 30, it could be only 5. Getting them all would be a superpower. You can get it every week on the JB Waffle Hour. 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 JB Waffle Hour.
I love that ensemble.
Yeah, there you go.
Is that an ensemble? What is an ensemble? Is that like a musical arrangement?
Jesus, you're putting me under pressure now.
Ensemble.
Yeah, it's a musical arrangement. Let's go with that.
Yeah, okay.
Fair play, John.
You
Look,
can
you big
edit that
fancy.
out. You can edit it out.
John says the same thing every week when we start the podcast. It's
Well,
kind
he
of a
didn't.
ritual.
He's after change it there now.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
going to try and mix it up a bit. Those people that listen to all 76 episodes are probably just kind of like, John's going to say that stupid thing again, isn't he?
Do we have to get more T-shirts printed up then with a new catchphrase?
Is that going to be his then?
No, actually, I better go back to that because
Marketing will not be happy.
I love that song.
For
Yeah,
the 480
that's
people who bought John's catchphrase T-shirt, we will refund you the money, or send you a new catchphrase T-shirt.
Yeah. I'll record it on my Cameo.
Yes.
Bertie?
Hello, everybody. This is episode 76. 76. Imagine that. 76 whole weeks. 76 Wednesdays.
76 what?
Wednesdays.
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 Yeah.
Because the podcast is out on Wednesday at 7:02 a.m. every Wednesday for the last 76 Wednesdays.
7:02 a.m.
7:02 a.m.
What started 2 minutes? I didn't know.
The
I
2
wasn't
seconds.
involved in that decision.
2 seconds.
It was something that he came up with.
I know, 2 minutes. So what
He's very
happened
strict about it.
originally
Yeah.
when I done it was I made a mistake.
Okay.
And then I thought it sounded cool because it's 7:02 a.m.
Yeah, it's pretty good actually. Yeah.
And then we just kept it then.
Okay.
I hope
Very
you
cool.
all enjoyed last week's episode, number 75, Get Outside You Old Fart,
Yeah.
where we talked
That was
about our
good.
retirement plans.
Yes, or the lack of.
Yes.
I have a pretty clear retirement plan. I don't know about you guys, but
No, I've none.
mine's pretty set in stone.
Good.
Is that
I
the
should
name of the
ba-
band?
I
is
should
it?
probably listen back in that
Set in
podcast.
Stone.
Which?
Set in Stone.
Yeah, there you
Name of
go.
the band.
There's the band name done.
Make sure to rate, like, share, follow, and subscribe to our podcast wherever you see us. You know, interactions are good and things. And if you are going to email us, make sure you're a real person.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Are you going to tell people the news on that, or
We
just
would
keep-
appreciate that.
keep it like that?
I don't know. Will you tell me?
It's technically a catfish story.
Yeah,
Kind
well,
of is. It's our
the
catfish
person
story.
in question is more than welcome to come on and justify her endeavours.
Oh,
Mhm,
yeah.
mhm. So there's no note passing, please. No
Sorry,
note passing.
sorry. No passing in
There's
class.
a video here.
Before we get into our weekends,
Yes.
I'm just going to introduce our guest because we're going to
Yeah.
talk about your weekend as well.
Mm.
We're ridiculously bad at introducing our guests.
Yeah.
We
Oh, have you an intro like John done for Berkey?
No, I don't.
Oh.
I was going to do one based on a certain topic,
Mm.
Yes.
but we'll get into that topic a little bit later. It's
Mm.
more about a different topic first.
So we're going to do two topics.
Kind of.
Okay.
Kind of.
Cool.
Yeah. We are going to talk to the wonderful Sinead Norman today about Bective Mill and all of the million billion things that's going on out there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's.
It's such an active place, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's unreal. And like
Mm.
all the things that have been going on since you opened.
I like the name of it. It's close to Boards Mill.
Yeah, which you love, obviously.
Would it be?
It's got a lot of the
So-
same letters.
Sinead is with us today. Hi, Sinead.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Can I just say I'm really disappointed that John doesn't have gin?
Sorry.
Oh, that's a bottle of gin.
Yeah,
Like,
it's pure gin.
water bottle of gin.
No tonic though. Don't worry.
Yeah.
That's how he hides his problem.
I don't know if the people of the podcast know the two worlds that you live in.
I do like to keep them separate.
This is
you know?
worlds.
Oh, sorry,
This
I
is
didn't
worlds
know that.
colliding now.
Yeah.
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 There's
People
outdoor
who-
living John, and
Yeah.
then there's gin enthusiast John.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Gin
there's
John.
JB Waffle Hour John.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
a wacky old sod. That
He's
fella,
like-
Oh,
isn't he?
you're-
Jesus.
he's
You
like
don't wanna-
Batman.
You don't want to meet him on a Saturday night. Jesus.
How was your weekend? Will I start from left to right, or will I start? I'll ask Sinead. How was your weekend? What did you get up to?
I was working at the weekend and a little bit of drinking as well.
Nice.
Nothing too extravagant, but yeah, working in the coffee dock and yeah, just doing a bit. Oh, my geodome was being built, so
yeah,
Seen that
Yeah.
on Instagram actually.
I have a
yeah.
picture
that
of
was
that.
actually really exciting weekend. I kept poking my head outside to see what stage you're at, but yeah, it was a good weekend all around.
That the view from the front of that is class. I have a picture of it. I'll show you it now in a second, and we'll talk about it.
Hmm.
But the views out there are just amazing,
Oh yeah, like it's stunning.
unbelievable.
It does look like a spaceship has landed in Bective though, and I'm not sure like if people are going to be that impressed by it.
Oh, sure, look, time will tell.
Yeah, people are
Um,
driving by and they're like, "Oh, there's a geodome," and "Oh, look, there's a lovely monument
Did
behind it."
did Matt Damon come and visit you?
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Matt
Matt
Damon
Damon.
was
Did
there.
Matt Damon actually come in?
Yeah.
No way.
Oh, I
Legend.
had I had this whole thing planned out in my head. So obviously he shot a movie out there. Was it 2 years ago? And it was great excitement. You know, they were there for 6 months for one day of filming. So on the day, like there was just all these mad animals. Like there's buffaloes and these crazy looking sheep and cows and animals just like all around our place. That's kind of what we were doing.
Oh right.
Yeah, Ridley Scott was supposed to be staying. His trailer was supposed to be in our place, but he couldn't get it. The driver couldn't get it down the lane.
Ah,
that was-
stupid driver.
It's in a big trailer.
It was actually, it was massive. We just had to like park it up on the side of the road.
Oh.
Did you name a drink after him like the Matt Latte?
No, actually, and
No.
it's gas because our actual coffee. I should really, because our coffee dock was part of the set.
Ah, was it?
Yeah, so at the time we had the B&B, so the production manager, or the stage manager, was staying with me for the 3 months. So I managed to kind of eyeball a few things that I wanted, and a lot of it was being sold to Vikings, the set of Vikings, and I managed to get like where the coffee dock is now, a pontoon, an old like mill wheel that they'd used, and a few other little bits.
Any
So-
swords?
No, a fake snow. That came in handy. I robbed a couple of bags of fake snow.
Nice.
Is that movie out yet?
Yeah.
I haven't
Yeah,
seen. I
well,
must
yeah.
watch it actually. I haven't
It's
seen it.
dark.
Haven't even seen
Is
it
it?
being advertised.
You know,
What's it called?
the Last Duel.
I haven't even seen it.
It's on Disney. It didn't go to cinema. It went straight to.
Yeah, let's check it
Oh
out.
no, it did go. Actually, yeah. No, sorry. I actually went to the cinema to watch it.
Free tickets, obviously.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
actually.
lads. So it was 6 months for one day of filming.
Yeah, so it was 3 months getting everything ready, and then I think they actually shut down for a month because lockdown, everything just shut down.
Right.
And then they came back, and sure, they're building, the whole set. And I know all these, like, because of COVID and like all the rules that were in place, everything was just, probably a bit more awkward than usual. But it just was eye opening to see how much money goes in just for one
Yeah,
day.
wow.
Like, and
Yeah.
like they blew snow everywhere, so it looked like it was in the depths of winter, even though it was October. And it rained that night, so they had to like do it again. And yeah, and probably didn't help that I was stealing the snow either.
We had 3
We're
bags
we're
left
short
over there.
3 bags for this scene.
I'd shut it down. We'll be back in 6 months. That's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that you did a lot at your weekend.
Yeah.
Good bit of stuff.
With the go weekend.
Wow.
I know it was a great time. Like, it was very exciting. Like, I was really looking forward to seeing Matt Damon, and then when I did, I totally backed out. I just was like,
no.
I was like, here he is, he's right beside me, and then I just was like nodded my head at him. Hello.
Too cool for school.
So you busy?
Exactly.
Yeah. Did you have any sort of like a pun to throw at him, or?
Oh yeah, like I had all these things in my head that I was going to say to him, and then I couldn't. I panicked. I think it's because he was there right beside me, and his assistant came up and went, "You're not wearing a mask." And I was like, "Yeah, but we're outside." And she was like, "If he sees you, he's going to shut us down." I was like, "Okay," I put the mask on.
Whoa.
And then in my head, I was like, "Right, he's really like angsty about being around people, and like I would probably give him COVID and shut everything down, no mind up."
Just your
So
luck, yeah.
I just gently nodded at him, and that was it.
Wasn't that the time he was up in Dalkey with the Super Valley bag? Is that the
Yeah,
same
yeah,
time?
yeah.
Amazing.
Got into the cold sea swimming.
And was Ben down as well?
No, Ben wasn't down. It was Matt Damon and Ben. No, my friend Ben wasn't there. No. It was Adam Driver. I don't think he was
Oh, right.
there. And Jodie Comer.
All right.
Yeah, she was there. So
And did you see her?
no, I didn't. We didn't cross paths. But Leah, my niece, she was extras on the day.
Oh, totally.
So was my sister and her partner, so they kind of got to see her more.
Yeah.
She was down the other side, so
It's all very exciting, isn't it? Meath is a good spot for shooting movies, apparently.
Braveheart.
You know,
Yeah.
remember Braveheart? When that was going.
Every time I see that scene where they have the big log and trying to break down the door, I'm thinking, I watched that.
Yeah, I've seen that happen.
You were there.
Through
Class.
binoculars.
Yeah.
do you remember where they lit it on fire? That was a big
Yeah.
thing,
Oh,
wasn't
yeah,
it?
well,
Everyone was like, "It's
Huge.
happening tonight, everyone, let's go."
That was like the biggest thing ever. Were we, 10 in
It was,
around that sort of
well, it
age?
came out in 1995, so it probably would have been 1994 then, wasn't
94.
it? That they were here
It was
recording.
11,
So-
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we would have been like 9 or 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was great to see for the town.
Has there been anything else shot around Meath?
Yeah,
there-
well, if
Fatal
you go back
Deviation.
far enough, like, I think
No, I mean in recent years.
there was
since
an
Braveheart.
old war movie. No, there was since Braveheart.
No, yeah, post Braveheart.
No,
Nothing.
There was a TV movie.
Fatal Deviation.
Oh, Fatal Deviation.
Yeah.
Oh,
I forgot about that.
That was one of the best movies ever made.
Oh, I mean, that is a cult
Better than
classic,
Braveheart.
isn't it? Get out of my bar, you little
That was
prick.
made in Bective as well, actually.
Well, I don't know. I've just seen bits of it, but yeah, I know a lot of people. It's
epic.
their
It's epic.
favorite movie.
Yeah, it's a great one. We're going to be talking to the main man himself at some stage.
Yes, we're getting James Benet onto the podcast someday.
Someday.
It's just that he's over in LA, and it's hard to book a good time together. But
And
we will get him on.
We only shoot on Mondays at 9:30. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, like
We can't adjust our time scale for him.
like we did offer to fly out to him, but it just didn't work out.
Yeah, we offered for him to pay for us to come out.
Yeah.
Just didn't work. So, how was your weekend?
My weekend was good, but not as exciting as Sinead's. but,
Yeah, no, that was fantastic.
I just did DIY around the house and stuff, and I worked on
Oh,
Sunday. That was it.
For a change, like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anything
Well,
specific that you're working on DIY this?
I did the grunt work. Like I sanded all the staircase, and then wifey painted the staircase.
She came out and was like, "What did you do
Yeah.
to the staircase?"
It's like, why are you sanding the staircase? Now I have to paint it. So, quite awkward.
Yeah.
But no, I sanded the stairs and she painted the stairs.
No filler this weekend.
No, it caulked. We caulked
Oh,
everywhere.
very good.
Hmm.
Oh.
I'm not going to make that joke. Bertie, how was your weekend?
Yeah, good. Move sheep.
Right?
Played first league game of the over 35s. We lost 3-0.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's tough, isn't it?
Yeah. Some
tough.
people just don't know what to do.
Being part of a team is hard, isn't it? Like you're preparing, especially pre-season. Everyone's all up for it, and you have all this hope, and then you go into the first game of the season. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
and we
shit.
done well. Like it was 0 at half time, and then 2 shitty enough goals in the second half. Second half, and then in fairness, the third one was a bit of a worldly. Man scored.
Mm.
You take that. But look, these things happen.
Is it one of those pitches that if you kick the ball along the ground, suddenly it's like up in the air?
Unfortunately, it was an Astro.
Oh,
Like
no
we
excuses
actually
then.
played a grand. It was just that those 2 mistakes second half, and then I was down in Carlow Blitz on Sunday. Got a little bit sunburned.
Yeah. It's not a bad. Well, it is a bad thing, but it's great to see the sun out.
Oh yeah,
It's
I
gorgeous,
was
wasn't
out in like 11:30 until like 2:30, I think, before it was over.
Right.
So yeah, nice and sunny.
Right. Let's take a little deep dive. We're trying to find a name for this little section. This is new, completely just for you. What did you say you were going to call it? You had a name for it.
Gram dump.
Gram dump. I said what was it? Let's slam that gram. No,
Yeah.
I don't know. So we're going to take a look at the Instagram for Bective Mill, and you can talk us through some of the stuff that's happening out there.
Okay, yeah.
Right.
If there's listeners that probably don't know Bective Mill, say, how would you describe Bective Mill? And
Oh, that's a very good question, John.
just for people, like obviously we locals listen to us, but there might be some people that
Oh,
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
know
If
about.
someone turned up and wanted a photo with a windmill, is that possible?
with a windmill.
Bertie clearly has never been to Bective Mill.
No.
No, I'm just trying to so people aren't rocking up looking for windmills, and then you get in an argument.
But
Saying, well, we don't have
it's not
windmills.
all about wind, though, isn't it? You can get
The word wind isn't in the title
like
at all.
Pretty sure there's a
I'm
river
just
next door
trying
as
to,
well.
yeah. I'm just trying to get what kind of mill, just so people aren't
It's
disappointed. What happens if a load of Dutch people turn up and they're looking for windmills?
Right, yeah, that's
They'd be sick. Oh no! Look, another windmill.
fair point. But she was about to explain. So let's. What was that? Oh
That's
my
that person.
Lord. Okay. So tell us about Bective Mill.
Okay, so Bective Mill is where I grew up. When my parents bought it in 1992 or whatever, it always was going to be a B&B. And we ran it as a B&B for years. And in 2016, I decided that myself and Paul, my husband, decided that we wanted to open up a glamping site and a coffee shop. I just had my son at the time. I had worked in a call centre, and it was just the most horrific job ever. And I hated my bosses; they were such assholes. And I just thought, Jesus, I have to figure out something now. I have a child, and I don't want to go back to a shitty job like that. So, we'd been away in Canada. We'd done some camping. I suppose when you're in, I don't want to sound shitty now, but like I feel like there's this kind of thing in Ireland where you get into the habit of going out every weekend,
Yeah.
and it's just you work all week and then you go out and you blow all your money on drink and going out.
Yeah.
And then we went to Canada. That changed for us. We were kind of going out at the weekends, being a bit more outdoorsy, and we just came back to Ireland and we just felt like I know we just wanted to do something different, so we decided to put in planning application then for the glamping, for the coffee shop, and so that ended up being a nightmare.
Yeah.
It ended up being 5 years
Oh, wow.
that coming through. So we were pushed back lots, and then we had the sauna. So Liam Irwin approached us during COVID about opening up a sauna, and Bective is it's a very it attracts very unique things. Let's just say that
yeah.
over the years we've had some really interesting characters who stay with us or work with us. So Liam came to us about opening up the sauna, and I just thought, this is just one of those things where people come and they just say things to us and we're like, okay, fine. But he came and he ran through his plans about opening up the sauna. It was in the middle of lockdown. And then, I ended up opening. He was like, we should open up a coffee dock to have people come down here. So I ended up opening up the coffee dock. So as we are now, there's a sauna down there that's run by the lads in the hot box. There is glamping because we got our glamping approved eventually, and then there's a coffee dock, and we run yoga classes. I kind of became a yoga teacher in the middle of it all, so we run yoga classes, and now we have our new Geodome as well. So it's just pretty much everything. Like, we've run music festivals, we've had raves down there before. You know, it's kind of it's a bit of everything.
What held up the planning application? Like the access or what you were going to do? Or
Yes.
5 years is a long time to
It's a long
on hold
time
for a business like.
To be honest, it was very, very difficult time because, you know, a lot of money had to go into different surveys. So the mill itself is listed. We had to get bat surveys. There was the special area of conservation. We were next door to a river. And then our neighbour as well, like I think all those years of raves or whatever might have pissed him off a little bit. So
That's literally right next door, isn't it?
pardon?
Is that right next door? I'm trying to imagine. There's like a house right next door.
Oh,
to you
yeah.
guys, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just at the top of the lane there. Yeah. So, it you know, it was a very difficult 5 years. You know, we were putting an awful lot of money into it, and it kind of got to the stage where it was like, you know, do we keep at this? Do we keep pumping money into it? And then at the same time, you're like, well, we've already done so much, you know, and this is what we want to do. And so, like, in the midst of the 5 years as well, the mill burnt down. So
Yeah.
I remember that. That was so
I have a
sad.
picture here, Helen. Let's have a quick look.
How far did it burn down? Like burn down?
oh yeah, totally burned
Was that
down.
like
Yeah.
accidental or electrical or what? Was
Well, I have my own theory, but
Right. There's a picture there. Look up on the screen behind you.
that was, I remember seeing that. I was so upset for you guys.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think everyone could see it around. Like, there's just smoke billowing.
That looks like it's part of the movie.
It really does.
Yeah,
It's
I wish it
unbelievable.
was. Yeah, no, and I was there by myself that day.
What?
Well, I wasn't. We had a woofer staying with us. You know, it's the World Organic Farmers. They basically like people who travel, and you keep them, so you give them their dinners, and they'll stay with you, and they'll work a few hours.
Right.
Oh.
So we had a woofer with us at that time as well. She was actually staying in that room where the big flame is coming out
No.
of. Yeah.
So,
Smoking weed, was she?
what was the cause of it? Did you ever get a report on it?
Well, it's very obvious. So at the time, the B&B was flying, and the tumble dryers were going like 24/7, and
Right.
and whatever happened, as you know, tumble dryers do, caught
Lint.
on fire. Like
Lint.
you can see it. It's like you can tell just where there was an inferno there.
Right.
Like,
Wow.
you know.
Just in that corner or whatever it was.
Yeah, and then like at the same time, like a couple of weeks after the fire, there was a recall on washing machines, and there was me. I was like going into like the whatever was left of the building, trying to see if I could get like a serial number or something, because that would have been an amazing payday.
Right.
The mill wasn't insured because it cost maybe 10 grand a year to insure it. So yeah, I had my yoga room just finished. I had bought
What
lighting
a hit.
for the yoga room literally the day before it happened. I was in the car and I was sitting there and I was like, I had all this new lighting. I'd spent like about €300 getting it, and it was in my car, and I was like, oh, like be a lazy bitch and just leave the lights in the car. And I was like, no, you're a serious businesswoman now. You're going to take those lights out and put them in so they're ready for the next day. And I did that, and then yeah. So,
Oh, God.
When was that? How long ago?
2009, July 2019.
And what way is it now?
It's still the same.
Hmm.
We've got grants to get the roof repaired, but you're like I think we got,
Because it's a listed building, you can apply for grants and stuff. Is it?
yeah, but Jesus, like I think we got a grant approved for like 25,000, and that would be like, I'd say that would fix the window.
Clean the wall.
Yeah,
It
nothing
clean the
really.
wall, exactly.
Because
yeah.
you'd obviously have to put the same kind of slate on it,
Yeah.
which is probably nowadays is really expensive slate.
Well, I think they were okay with us putting the galvanized back on it, because it was like that before. They were thinking maybe like a green galvanized or something along those lines. Like they are trying to be somewhat realistic, but you know, it's very.
And how many rooms was in that for the B&B?
Oh, the B&B wasn't in that room.
Oh, no, it's not.
no. So there was my yoga room, and there was an apartment that
Oh,
Probably should have been in there, but it was.
oh, and then all the dryers and stuff was in there.
All
as
the
well.
dryers,
Oh,
dryers
okay.
in the basement. So we think it was a dryer, but on the day, like we were. So when it happened, I was supposed to go to Facebook a summer party with Paul, and I was there getting ready. And next thing, like I was staying in the cabin at the time, the door just gets kicked in, and I can't remember her name. It was like Sabrina. It was like, Sinead, the mill is on fire, and I was like. I just was like, because I actually saw this weird coloured smoke going past the window, and I was like, oh, well, neighbours obviously burning rubbish or whatever. And then like that happened. She shouted and just at the middle of fire, and I ran outside, and lo and behold, his smoke was just billowing out. And we've such bad signal down there, and the phone was like hopping out of my hand. I'm trying to ring the fire brigade, and they're trying to ring me back, and. At the same time, I'm just thinking, oh my God, where's the dog?
Oh, yeah.
Doggy.
So when Jake was okay, I was like, right, that was somewhat of a relief. But yeah, I got through to the fire brigade. Anyway, we all just basically stood out. It was real awkward. We were just standing there, like we all had tears in our eyes. We were, watching the mill burn down. Like all of our neighbours were piling down, and it was just like silent for a little minute, and we're just like watching it. Like you
Nothing
hear
you could
like
do.
nothing you can do, and you hear like things falling down, and it was
It's
just
all timber floor and timber beams. And
yeah, so it was an awful situation. I just went quiet, and then my mom turned around and she was like, well, I guess I don't have to do the ironing today. It's like,
Well, that's proper Irish mammy right there.
yeah. And now ever since I'm like, you burned the mill down.
And you lost your clothes obviously as well.
It was only bed sheets.
That's okay.
Yeah.
They can be replaced.
Well,
as
actually, no, we'd actually a lot of storage in there as well, like Ollie's little baby clothes. Yes, that was a kick in the teeth.
That's horrible. And the structure's still standing though, isn't it? Like structurally
Yeah.
it's still there.
Structurally, it's fairly sound. I think we could eventually, do something with it. The main priority is to get a roof on it because it's just so exposed at the moment. So
Yeah. And the wheel is still on the outside.
yeah,
the actual mill
yeah.
itself. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, like actually the millstones, are they called grindstones? No, millstones. Yeah, they're all intact in there. And you can see like all the mechanics of the wheel are still there. But
Could you do like GoFundMe or anything like that to kind of?
do you know that had crossed my mind when it happened initially? But I don't know.
Or
Like
cake sale.
so many, yeah,
They always go away.
yeah, they do actually. That I should have thought of
Did
that.
you ever
one.
think about opening at the time the mill as like was it a visitor centre like?
No, it wasn't. It was just like
because if all your equipment is still in there like.
yeah, like it was just it was just like a rundown old mill. So and it was actually really funny because my neighbour came down the day after it burned down, and he was trying to make the situation better, God love him, and he was like, oh, you never know what could happen. This could be a movie set, like of a zombie movie, like where everything like is like in shit or whatever. And I was like, oh, thanks so much.
I want him around.
Yeah.
Every time it goes bad.
That's a great idea. And then lo and behold, literally 6 months later, the guy from the movie set comes and he's like checking it out, and I'm like, oh, didn't see that happening.
Nostradamus living next door, huh?
Yeah.
So run us through obviously if you look at the screen there, that's the coffee dock.
That's the coffee dock there. That's my neighbour Fiona.
Lovely.
And that's part of the set there, this section of it.
Yeah, I think there was like fish guts hanging out. Oh no, actually that was there was clothes hanging up in that. The movie
Very
set.
cool.
It's a lovely little setup, isn't it?
Yeah, Paul built that. Paul's some man to like get scrap and just put it all together.
Fair play to him.
Did he I know he worked in Navanhire for a little while, but did he do a trade as well?
Well, Noel Duffy is like the master of all.
He's right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
like all the Duffys are like
Yeah.
All the Duffys
unreal.
are fairly talented, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. They're like they all can put their hand on them.
And then this here is your glamping pod, or the front of the glamping pod.
Yeah, that's it. So that's our first glamping pod.
You went for a triangle.
Yeah, I like to call it an A-frame. I think it's a bit more sophisticated, but anyway, we call it the triangle from now on.
And what are you aiming for down there? There's one there at the moment.
Yes, there's one, and we have plans for 6 in total.
Oh, deadly.
Yeah, so
6 triangles.
six triangles
6
exactly.
A-frames.
I've never gone glamping, and obviously glamping is camping with a bit of glam, is it?
Well,
Is
do
that
you know
what you
what?
consider it as?
Yeah, that I wouldn't consider that as glamping because that is very extravagant for glamping. Like glamping would be
That's fancy glamping.
yeah,
like a teepee or something. set up.
yeah, like something that's maybe a bit more structurally sound than like an actual tent. But like that's
This is a little house, isn't
it's
it?
a little house.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You could live in that, no problem.
yeah. No,
Is there a toilet and shower in that?
yeah,
Oh, yeah,
toilet,
that's good, yeah.
shower, the whole lot, kitchen.
Nothing
and-
worse than having to walk to the toilet.
And who would be
Yeah.
your clientele? People that are touring around Mead, or would this be a romantic couple heading away to?
Yeah, so actually the A-Frame just went live there on a booking manager
Website thingy.
yeah, so it went up in Airbnb, and then there's like this booking manager that will put it onto all the different platforms, and it got 40 bookings in 3 days.
way.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
But
People like the
they're-
glamping.
Yeah, but you know, there's actually nothing in the area. There's such a huge gap
Yeah,
because
yeah.
we're right beside Blinter House, now Bective House, which will be a hotel eventually, and then Blinter House, Station House. Sorry, yeah, that's the other one. So, like any of their overflow, they don't have anywhere to stay.
So
So.
you'd have wedding guests coming to stay
Yeah,
at
wedding
Clipper
guests, and then people actually a lot of people for Tato Park as well.
No way.
They'd go, yeah.
What's Tato Park?
Oh, sorry,
Emerald.
Emerald Park.
Yeah.
Sorry now.
Yeah, our future sponsor, so we have to talk nice about them.
Geez, that's some setup. There's a good potential there, isn't there?
Yeah, but you know what? You probably notice this yourselves. Like, it's very hard to, like, you know, when you have kids, like, it's really hard to go to a hotel or
Yeah.
anything like that. I don't
Yeah.
think, like, glamping and
It's
camping,
expensive as well.
it's expensive, and you don't want to be stuck in a room. You can't properly cook. Do you know? I think in Ireland in general, like, there should be more glamping and camping
Yeah.
sites because
Well, any of the
Definitely.
glamping places I've gone to, they've always been booked out. There's always been
Yeah,
packed
yeah.
when I was there.
Yeah.
Well,
I was down in,
sorry, go on ahead, Bert.
Oh no, I was just saying I was in Podtumna, the one in Kinnity, the one in Ballymunnet, and I really wanted to go to the one in is it Sligo or Roscommon? That's the Hobbit House.
oh yeah,
But
cool.
it's always
Yeah, you
booked.
can get yeah.
yeah.
Popular.
And then your man tried to go too big in Sligo. Do you know your man with the Ryanair?
Oh yeah,
or
that's
the
right. I was
airplane
actually
and
just about to
Yeah.
talk about that. Yeah.
he went too big too fast.
So what's the
Oh.
story there? I don't know about that.
Well, it's still not open. And like
Right.
he was on the first time I heard that was like the Ray Darcy show on Today FM, and Ray Darcy's gone off Today FM how long?
Oh god, 10 years,
Yeah.
not more.
And like the plane is there, the taxis are there, the train is there, and you can look over the wall and see them, but nothing's happening.
Nothing. That's weird.
It's a shame.
And what's holding it up? Planning?
I'd say he's broke
Oh,
because
right.
he
What a
brought
plane.
a full plane from I think Shannon Airport.
Mm.
Like I don't know, I can't remember how he done it. Was it on the road or by
2 helicopters brought
by
it.
sea? I don't know. But dragged it up and all. It's cost a bomb, it's.
No money now.
And now there's just a random plane
Yeah,
sitting
sitting
in the
next to the
field.
house.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
In
I
Sligo.
really should do something with that plane.
Proper Celtic Tiger type thing.
It is, isn't it, really?
That's it.
Yeah.
Madness.
I have all this money in the bank. You know what I'll do? I'll get a big plane and put it in the
Yeah.
field.
He was a funeral director or something.
Jesus.
I know he's always in business, but like I don't know.
Yeah. We'll come back to that maybe and have a look at it, a little bit of research.
We should get him on.
Yeah.
That there is that that's the pontoon.
Yeah.
at Back to Mill. I know for people listening, this is you
So,
can just try and imagine what we're looking at. Or if you go to Bective Mill Coffee Instagram, you'll see it there.
Is that where you go off after you've been in the hot box?
Yeah, well, actually, it's a bit further up, but during the summer, everyone just gets into the river if it's a hot day. Like it is, it's fairly safe. Like it's quite shallow.
Oh, there's a picture of a band. How'd that get in
Oh
there?
my
Sorry,
god!
I'm
Oh,
looking at
look
that.
at this
Oh,
now.
that's a good band. Wow.
You have great bands out there
Yeah,
sometimes as
yeah.
well. Yeah.
Pity about- pity about the legs there.
Yeah, I know that was a bad day. That
Who's
was
the guy in the
first-
hat and glasses
First
trying to
time
hide
I
himself?
wore- oh, look at Robbie there. Look.
That is one of very few photos online of Robbie Kennedy.
Yeah, there's the star of this podcast there.
Jeez, there's so many people there that day. And
Yeah, it
do
was
you remember
great.
the wasps? Oh my
Yeah,
god, this is
yeah.
the worst ever.
They're everywhere. We're on about coming back out again. Robbie's always like trying to get. There's Rob on drums. Trying to get back out to tea again to do another one of those gigs outdoors.
Do you know what actually happened? You'd be interested in this. Do you remember? Oh, this is another. I don't know what the phrase is, but last year we held a wellness event, Boyne Valley Vitality. So it was all yoga, Pilates, like loads of talks and breathwork classes and exercise classes, and it was a great day. The weather was absolutely shite, but we had a great turnout. And then like people went to the sauna and like all that kind of stuff. But the next day, of course, the weather was absolutely gorgeous, and we were all sitting in the kitchen and we were just kind of, going through everything about the day before, and the Mary Wallopers pulled in.
No
yeah,
way.
they pulled in their they have this like the big van, and they've graffiti all around it like it's class.
Yeah.
And my mum was there because the Mary Wallopers is written on it, and she wouldn't have a clue who they are. And the van came in with like Mary Wallopers on it. My mum's name is Mary, and she was like, "Oh, great! This is just what I need right now."
Need a wallop.
But they came in and they wanted to go for a swim, and we had a keg of Guinness there that we were going to have to celebrate after Boyne Valley Vitality, but the weather was like pure shite, so everyone just went home. So they ended up staying with us for like 8 hours
No
and like had
way.
a little jam outside and like drank Guinness all day with us.
No.
Yeah, it was so cool.
See, these things happen at
That is
Bective Mill.
awesome.
Yeah, this
It
is those
is.
kind of stuff.
Back to Mill is amazing.
It is.
But like we did have like the most interesting people that we've ever had was a guy called Taurus and his girlfriend Zoe, who sold all their possessions, and like they dress like fairies.
Right.
And yeah, they came to Ireland to live at the Hill of Tower.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and they arrived in November and they got to Dublin and all of their things were stolen.
Oh no.
Yeah, and then they went to the Hill of Tower and it was like really windy. They couldn't put up their tent. But then they ended up coming to Airbnb, and then they agreed to like do some gardening work for us, and then they ended up like staying there for 3 months.
Wow.
Yeah, and then they put up their tent, and it was like they called it their spaceship tent, and you'd get into it every few weeks. Like you'd like have these like full moon ceremonies, and we'd like drink like honey wine out of a cow horn and like do all that, like, you know. That was like the height of it, but they were really interesting people.
Did you at some point worry they weren't going to leave?
Yeah, that did cross our minds, but like actually Zoe and Taurus, when they arrived, they were like in their honeymoon period and they were like really loved each other, and by the end of it they actually hate each other.
Oh, no.
Yeah, but she actually fell pregnant.
No way.
And she moved back to Switzerland and he moved back to Glastonbury, where he's from.
No way.
Yeah,
Sounds like an absolutely horrible trip they had.
I
It did, didn't it? That was the worst
want to
holiday
know
ever.
what went on in that space tent.
Yeah, exactly. I'm presuming it was his baby.
She got probed.
I don't.
What did you say?
One way or another, she got probed.
Jesus, Bertie. And so
Oh, God.
he went back to Glastonbury, she went back to Switzerland.
Yeah, and she now runs a forest school. A forest like play school. So the parents just drop their kids off with her, and she takes them off to the forest for the day, and
Deadly.
then drops them back. Then later on,
That's mad. Well, I mean, there's all outdoor play schools nowadays, isn't there?
Yeah.
Like, so,
that's where I sent Ollie to an outdoor one as well.
yeah. Was it in Trim, Cushcane?
One of the library.
In Navan.
Oh,
in
right.
Dinioga.
Yeah. It's very
Yeah.
good in there. So let's take a look at you had actually before I go on to this next one, you had slugs, or do you still have slugs down there?
Oh, the
snails.
snail farm. Yeah.
Snails, wow.
Snails.
Yeah, we did that for a while.
This was fascinating to me.
Yeah.
And like sold them for eating, or it was like racing?
Oh.
People do snail racing. Do you ever see it? No? Yeah.
I would have
It's
had
riveting.
way more fun down there if I was aware
Yeah.
of snail racing.
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah, that was a while ago. That just happened because my dad's friend Margarita, she's Spanish. Actually, she was only in the house there a couple of days ago. Escargot was becoming really popular in Spain, and nobody had a snail farm in Ireland at the time. Well, they did actually. We found out shortly afterwards, a woman in Carlow does, and she's still going. But it's because of the weather. It's a bit wetter. It's a bit colder. It was kind of a very experimental type thing. But yeah, at one stage we had 10,000 snails down there, and I was minding them. And
How did you count them?
Yeah.
I don't know actually. She would come along and she'd do I just fed them and like talk to them and just like we used to have like these like we'd have to like it was actually it was very
How do
bizarre.
you make more snails?
Just
The probe tent.
I just-
Does like a snail have one snail? Has it 100 snails?
No,
Baby
obviously you
snails?
have to artificially inseminate them. Like, you not see the videos?
That's
YouTube,
It's a
get the
different website you
YouTube
were
it
on.
yeah, when I left in the evening, I just had to like set the light to low and then put on
Barry
Barry White and then just leave because I don't want to know what happened in there. I was like,
So
there-
they move slow, but they ride fast.
This could go on for a while, so we better.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So,
Mad.
what do you mean by you to take care of them? In what way?
Oh, so I'd like just basically feed them and clean like their area, and I actually can't even remember now. what I
Were they
did.
in like little boxes, or what way was it set up?
Oh yes, actually, now it's all come back to me now. Yeah, so they had to. I think at the time we had like a container, and then we took them out and they were like mating, and then they came to a certain size, and then we moved them into a polytunnel, and then we had like sprinklers and like vegetation, and then they'd have like their feed.
Sounds like a great place to live for a snail.
Yeah, it was like there's still actually loads of snails down there.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
there's like big chunky ones floating
Did
around
you
the
just
place.
like release them into the wild then?
No, we sold. Well, I don't actually know. I think Margarita sold them, but like a few of them, they were always actually breaking out.
All right.
They always,
Girliers.
yeah, seriously. Like you just, I don't know how they did, but they did.
Easy to catch, I'd say.
Yeah. Anyway.
Snails are actually super fast. Like, do you ever? We have a greenhouse at home, and you'd be doing something with a plant, and the next morning you go out to the same plant, and you'd see a snail was there, or a slug, probably. I don't know, slug without a home. But basically, he was, but you'd see he was everywhere. Like,
Right.
and you're like, we must have took them all night just to get from there today, but they're everywhere. They must be quicker than you.
They just keep on moving, I think.
Yeah,
You just don't
non-stop
expect
moving.
them
Yeah.
to move.
Sneaky snails.
Yeah, it's like Sinn Féin.
So that was done and dusted then.
Yeah, that all went to shite.
And did
It
you
just-
taste the snail? What did it taste
Oh
like?
no, I couldn't do that.
No.
No.
Because they were your babies.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Yeah.
don't think I'll ever try it now.
What way do you eat snails? You have to cook them? Is it fry them?
Boil them, isn't it?
Is it boiled?
I
Like
think
mussels kind of thing.
Oh, is it?
I don't know. I actually was
You just
never.
grew them.
I just never really. It's funny, like you like the phrase is you grow snails, like
Instead of breeding.
breeding. Yeah, I don't know,
Right.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah.
but I would never eat them. I
Yeah.
couldn't imagine, like, no,
Yeah.
it wouldn't be for me.
No, me either. You have bees, or do you still have bees down there?
No, they're gone. That
Oh,
was
they're gone.
yeah, that was my Trish Bartley did
That's-
that with us.
Her up there.
That's
Yeah, there's Trish.
And what, you were making honey, was it?
Yeah, it was fascinating and it was amazing. The
Mm.
honey that came there. So there was 2 batches. There was one in May, and because there was rapeseed oil close by, the bees would just use that as their source.
Yeah.
So the May honey wasn't amazing, but the end of summer was just phenomenal. Yeah, it was,
Tasty like.
yeah, it was real lemony and it was just so fresh.
Did you have to
It was
get that thing where you put the honey in and you spin it around?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, we did. Trish doesn't have the bees there anymore. She's, I think at one stage she just kind of fell out of it. She had tons of hives
Is
everywhere.
it a lot of work?
It
It just seems like something you just leave there and then go out and get honey every now and again.
No, I think it's a bit more. They're a bit more temperamental than that.
Mm. That one's pretty self-explanatory, isn't it? You've got does Paul bring that round on
The lawnmower.
The lawnmower.
Yeah, it was my dad and Paul and myself.
That's
sometimes.
a cool little yoke for the kids to sit in. There's a little train.
Yeah.
And then you have the hot box guys.
One of the guys from work who lives up in Dublin said recently that, I think it was last year actually, he went out and said he loved it.
Yeah, it's
People come
mad.
from far and wide, like.
Yeah, a lot of people from Dublin. Like I was in a pub in Dublin before, and I was chatting to the barman. Excuse me, and he was asking where are we from, and he's like, oh, from Navan is what I generally say, and he was like, oh, I was only out there the other day, a place between Trim and Navan. Do you know the hot box sauna? And I was like, oh, that's where I live.
That's mad, isn't
That's
it?
actually happened a few times.
Yeah. It's really unique, the whole thing that they're doing there, isn't it?
Oh, it is, yeah. Like, it's actually funny because my dad said to me years ago, because, there's Ukrainians that used to come down to us and they'd have like a summer party, and one year they brought down a caravan and they turned it into a sauna, and we're
Nice.
jumping into the river, and Oliver, I don't call him that, I call him Oliver, he was like, oh, we need to do that. We need to do a sauna and jump in the river. And we
Yeah.
were like, you're just ridiculous. Like, you do anything for money and that won't work. And lo and behold, like, flash forward how many whatever
Yeah.
years, and yeah, it's flying for them.
It's awesome.
How many years is the hot box sauna there now?
This is the third year, I think. Yeah, third year.
Sarah was out, that was good.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's amazing. Oh my God, it's the most refreshing thing ever. Like, it's in the hot sun and then getting into the river, you just feel incredible afterwards. It really is. I couldn't knock it at all.
In Lithuania, they do that. I get probably same with Ukraine, Eastern European countries.
Yeah.
You're in a really hot sauna and they have a lake next door to it, and in the sauna they have shots of vodka and then jump in butt naked into the river.
Yeah.
Way.
Yeah, it's mad.
It's mad, yeah. All
Because the
you
vodka opens up your blood vessels and it makes you.
God.
Is that place a butt naked place?
I don't think so.
No, it's
okay.
not. I think there have been people though. I think
But he's
actually,
disappointed.
yeah. I think the Nudist
Is it the butts?
Society of Ireland, I think, asked could they have something down there at some stage.
No way.
Yeah.
There's a Nudist Society of Ireland.
Well, I think so. Yeah, that's as far as I know.
Nudist
Yeah.
Society of Ireland.
Nice.
Something along those lines. Maybe if you Google it, just see.
Nudist Society of- I don't want to Google that.
Yeah, could you imagine what your sponsored ads would be after that?
Later on, 12:30 in the morning.
I'd be signed up to it in no time. Fuck.
But no, they wanted to come out and actually use it, like, you know, and stroll around the garden and come up and get coffee off me and just kind of be in like a real natural environment. But yeah,
I'm taking the kids out for a walk.
We sold a bit of stuff. I think that we sold artificial grass or something like that for that.
To the Hot
yeah,
Box guys.
you did
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would. Yeah,
I guess
Oh, is that what you do, John? Is it?
Artificial grass, fake grass, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you can get free samples on if you want to www. Yeah, it was very interesting.
And they've another setup as well. Where is that? It's by the sea somewhere.
yeah. They've one in Ross's Point, and then they just opened up another one at Loch Ramor.
Oh, yeah, out in Cavan.
In Cavan, yeah.
Oh, very good.
So that's only recently opened in the last week
That's
or so.
Virginia, is it?
Right, that's a new
Yeah.
one. They're branching out. And then tell us a little bit about the Geodome. You got this. I think I have a picture of it there. Do I?
It's
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 gone.
probably on my own
No.
private one.
I think
gone
it's on
now.
a reel. It's on
It was on a reel or something.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
it
not on
is, yeah.
Instagram there, but yeah. Tell us about the Geodome. So yoga.
Yeah.
When did you come into yoga? How did you get into this?
So I don't know, I always loved yoga. I would go to the classes, practice on YouTube, and I just loved the whole mindfulness, and I was training an awful lot at the time, and I was kind of doing it for recovery as well. So I decided to do yoga teacher training. I finished that up in January 2020 and then lockdown hit and I lived honestly for the whole of lockdown. It was probably the closest I could ever be to enlightened, because I practiced yoga the whole time. I had all this free time, and I got majorly into it. And then Paul, obviously being the sound engineer and the kind of tech dude, he set me up and I started doing Zoom classes.
Oh, deadly.
And I always would have dipped in the river. And then the lads from the sauna all came, and then like everyone started practicing outside, or classes were opening up outside, and I kind of thought, well, why don't I just do it here, and maybe see if anyone's interested. Cold water swimming became popular, and I knew the river, and I was like, maybe I could make a little package that people come out, do yoga, and if they want to go for a dip. And yeah, loads of people ended up coming. It was like really popular. We all people would come on a Sunday morning. We'd practice yoga outside. About half of the people got into the river, and then eventually we started incorporating the sauna into that as well. And then people would hang around and have coffee afterwards. So we had like a really nice community of people, and it was really nice vibes, especially where we were at with lockdown. It was really nice kind of community that we had and still have. But it was very much a summer thing. Unfortunately, my yoga room burnt down. It's gas, because when you think about it, at that stage in 2019, when the mill did burn down, I was like, planning is a disaster. Mills after burning down, like you just think Jesus, like nothing is going to happen. It's all going against me. And there was a rough 6 months there where we're just like, will we, won't we? And we ploughed on. And then COVID happened, and then the B&B fucking it was a disaster. Booking stopped coming in, and clean the rooms was really stressful, because I just thought I was freaking out about cleaning them. Like I was spraying everything down, and leaving the room for 24 hours, and you just didn't know what it was. So then we closed the B&B, and I was like, this is bad. And then Liam got in touch about opening up the sauna and then opening up a coffee dock, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna we should definitely do it. Just go on ahead, open it up. Do the sauna, and then we did that, and then the yoga, everything just kind of came together. And Jesus, I know this is really bad, because I know COVID was really awful for some people, but for us, it turned everything on its head, and it really kicked things off for us. I have to say, the lads in the sauna were really inspirational because they were just ploughing on. They were getting on with it, and I was like, you know what, they're doing it the right way. They're just getting on with it and doing it. So I took a leaf out of their book and opened up the coffee dock and with yoga and everything, and it all just went really well together. Sorry, I'm going way off here. So
No.
so it's very much a summer business in terms of like, you know, it was outdoors.
And
I
you still do the yoga and packages and everything.
Yeah, well, I
You're
stopped.
starting again for the summer, is it?
Yeah, starting again for the summer. So, you know, everyone always slags me because I'm very lackadaisy. You know, I'm just like, oh, whatever, it'll be grand. Like, I'm very grateful. I don't have any massive loans hanging over me. You know, I was just kind of took it like, you know, very easy going. You know, people are like, when are you open? You never know when you're open, and you're never open on time. And I'm just like, I'm not confined by the bounds of time. So. You know,
Setting by example that you're chilled out.
yeah, I'm not good at time anyway. Like I do open it in around 12 o'clock-ish or 11 o'clock-ish. So now we got the Geodome. I'm going to try and push it into all throughout the years to do yoga, Pilates, breathwork classes. I have loads of classes booked in.
So the Geodome is for all weather really instead of...
That's it,
Okay.
yeah. We're going to get a stove in. As I say before, we're toying with the idea of doing a little work hub, like maybe Monday,
yeah.
Tuesday, Wednesday, and do the sauna with that as well. So like it'd be like a wellness kind of, you know, because you have great views out. You'll have the sauna. I'll be there to do coffee in the morning. So
Jeez, it'd be a
Great.
great place to work, wouldn't
Great
it?
setup as well, isn't it?
I might move the music school out there as well.
Yeah. So you can work remotely. Actually, that'd be a great place to work, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Is that the kind of what you're doing? Is like a hot desk type of thing where you can go out and...
Yeah, that's what, like my neighbour put the idea in my head. Scott, he's going to listen to this and
Boy, Scott.
absolutely rip the shite out of me
Yeah,
for the
for
next 2 weeks. But yeah, he put the idea to me. Now it's not 100%, but we're definitely thinking of doing it because now I feel the pressure because I've invested in this Geodome and
Yeah.
things have kind of gotten real. So I kind of have to take the business a bit more seriously now and be like, right, you know, I need to open in time.
Yeah.
I need to have like a timetable and everything like done properly, and I'm looking forward to it. Like, you know, I have like, it's very difficult. Like I have obviously Shay, he's 15 months old. I have Ollie, and my hands are fairly full. Like I have all this going on, but like really my biggest problem right now is that Shay is constipated.
Oh no! Jeez, you have a right thing going on in that house.
I know when but like honestly, it's loads going on, but it's great, you know. It's very difficult as well at the same time because you're kind of living in your work and
Yeah.
you're constantly surrounded by, you know, people coming in out of the sauna, you know, the coffee dock, and now we'll have all these different classes, and you're just kind of switched on, and then social media as well, trying to keep up with that, and yeah, it's pretty difficult.
Do you find that tough working at home and trying to get that separation of work and home life?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I have to organise a childminder to come in now and just kind of, you know, get a couple of hours a day because my head's in way too many different places, you know.
Yeah.
And I just feel like if I'm with the kids, I want to be able to focus on them and not be kind of, you know, half there because,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
it's actually a really hard thing to do sometimes, isn't it? You just want to be really present, and it's difficult to do that. But I'm absolutely terrible at time management, so it's something I need to work on.
Yeah.
You know, just to be able to divide that time up that, you know, this is work time, this is home time, and learn to kind of switch off.
We have a fantastic opportunity out there, and like,
Yeah.
there's. Have you got anything more kind of in the pipeline that you're thinking of doing?
No, we need to really like perfect what we're doing.
What you
know.
have already?
Yeah, well, I kind of had thought we already are. Like, I'd love to do allotments down there and just kind of have that. Like, really,
yeah.
what I want to do is get, you know, all the like the bigger picture would be to get the glamping going, get the 6 A-frames, and then kind of run retreats and maybe not open the place up as much, and then maybe, you know, have the retreats where people come for 2 or 3 days, and then I can kind of manage my timetable a bit better on my own calendar, and then have allotments maybe, and just kind of like create a nice little vibe down there.
Yeah.
Look, who knows, COVID could happen, and it could be a mental asylum, or
Don't say that. Well, it's all heading in the right direction anyway.
Yeah.
So it's Bective Mill Coffee on Instagram.
Yeah.
And then do you have a separate one for your yoga?
Yeah, Sinead's Yoga Sanctuary then is the other one then as well.
Yeah. Any other Instagrams there? Hotbox
No.
on, I guess, actually.
Yeah.
The lads. We tag the lads too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But big things coming in the future.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, who
There's
knows?
a lot going on.
Fair
yeah.
play.
You're a fairly strong entrepreneur technically, aren't you? Like you're innovating constantly.
Do you need to buy any sheep? I know, guy.
Petting zoo. That's something I actually
Oh,
need.
there you
Thanks.
go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you've just planted that seed now. Great.
Just a gin room, maybe.
Gin experience.
Gin experience.
Just with all the any podcast rooms actually, we'll do podcasts out there.
Effective Mill Distillery.
Yeah, like that mill would be a great distillery if you want to
have a
put
story and a half there.
€1,000,000 into it. Go
Oh,
for it.
Watch this space.
Cake sale going around.
And the podcast money, sure.
Yeah, JB Waffler cake sale.
Church collection after mass.
Yeah. Will we go into the waffle game? Do you have a waffle game?
Yes.
It's that time, you know the name. It's the reason we all came. Find the words that are the same. It's that time to play the waffle game.
Sinead, can you name 5 yoga poses?
Shavasana, lotus pose. Oh my god, why am I on this spot
this
now?
always happens.
Yeah.
This is the magic of the game.
Oh my god, this is awful. Shavasana, lotus, easy pose, handstand, plow pose, let me see. Oh god. I should know this. Like I do this all the time.
Oh, that's it.
Okay.
Oh my lord. Okay,
Oh,
so
no.
I've done.
isn't it sadistic, this bloody game?
This is
They've asked-
awful. Oh my
You
god.
asked me about gin stuff. I couldn't name anything about gin. It was absolutely insane. Your mind just goes all weird.
You did one about music once, and I think I got 0.
Yeah. Would you like to see them?
Okay, guys, he's actually they're trying to make me feel better here. Is this real?
Yeah.
He's all
Okay, so I had downward facing dog.
downward dog. Yeah,
Okay, mountain pose.
yeah.
Warrior. Is that one?
Yeah, reverse warrior. Why is this so?
And Garland pose.
And do you know what? In my
Isn't it
head, because I keep on getting mixed up because obviously like there's the names and then there's
She's like the Indian names.
the
as
Indian.
well.
Yeah, so I'm like, yeah. Anyway,
Yoga, is it? Obviously, it's dominated by women, but like, how much men would go to yoga?
Well, it was a man that started yoga, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
well, it was
I heard
started.
like back in the 1500s, it was men doing yoga.
Well, no,
Where did you-
like yoga's been around for a long time. Like it's
Yeah.
it's hard to say who started it, but like there's all these different branches of yoga. So
What's yoga
Yeah.
It's,
word?
it's like
Is it-
martial
is
arts
it like-
writing where there's different strands.
yoga means union. It's the union of breath. It's the union of anthem, breath, movement. Mind, body.
Oh,
all
so
those-
Y means something, O means something, or is yoga like a Tibetan name or word or something?
Yeah, that's just it's
She's on the money.
yeah.
I got it there. That's
Oh,
exactly
good.
what it was. So yoga or yoke or union, as you said,
Right.
pronounced, is a group of physical, mental, and spiritual practices or disciplines which originated in ancient India and aim to control yoke, which I didn't know meant union. Yeah, there you go.
But like, do men
Uh,
use it much then?
Hmm?
Do men go to your yoga classes?
Men are terrified of going to yoga classes. I think it's very much out of their comfort zone. They're going in there, and they have this thought that I could definitely not do that, and they think they're going to go in and you're going to make them do the splits or turn them into pretzel or whatever, and it's
Yeah.
just not the case. Like if you come into my yoga class, I'd often say to people, just listen to your body. That's the main thing. Like there is an awful lot of like mumbo jumbo that goes along with yoga. There's all the different words and Sanskrit. Like that's what it's called. Like that could scare people. All the different branches of it, and really all it is, it's just breathing. It's just movement. It's listen to your body, not pushing yourself too far. There's all this other stuff that goes along with it, but with anything, if you breathe well, you're going to feel better. So if you're connecting with your breath, you'll feel good. If you move your body and you stretch it a little bit, you're going to feel good. And it's if this is my personal opinion, if you go to any yoga class, it really doesn't matter about anyone else. It's you, and you need to listen to your body, and that's your space, and nobody's paying attention to you. It's all in your head. You can sit there and you're like, oh my god, I'm doing this all wrong, and this person's watching me. And it's not like if you want to go to a yoga class, actually the hardest thing about being in a yoga class is being present and connecting with your breath and
Yeah.
just, you know, being still. The movement's actually the easy part. It's, you know, if you want to go to a yoga class and lie there and breathe and just take some time out for yourself, any yoga teacher will be like, that's fine. That's your yoga today, and that's perfect. And, you know, just again, very important that you listen to your body and just check in with yourself and yeah, do what feels good.
Can we do a yoga podcast?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, go out and
That
do
would be
yoga.
good. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Can I tell you a story? Before pre-COVID, I decided that I was going to go and do yoga.
Oh.
I was very interested in yoga. I got very into Buddhism for a little while. So I'm going to go do yoga and I'm going to meet lots of cool people. I was newly single at the time as well. I was like, I'm going to go to yoga. I'm going to meet someone at yoga.
Meet people, yeah.
And I
Meet a
went.
yoga
I
person.
went to a yoga class, and it was all ladies. So mission accomplished.
Yeah.
But they were all
Joey from Friends.
65 and over, and they were the nicest group of ladies
Yeah.
that I've ever met. And I met.
No
I
doubt
met
they were delighted to have you.
Yeah.
they weren't. I was there grunting at the back, like, "Oh Jesus!"
Are you still friends with any of them?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh.
So I had my group of yoga ladies who were all over 65, and I was like the young fella in the class, and we were all chatting about our weeks and stuff and doing our
Owns,
yoga together.
owns angels. Hello, angels. That's every time you showing up.
But it was great. It was absolutely
Yeah.
great. And I think it was only COVID. I think kicked in, and then I kind of stopped doing it for a little while.
I wouldn't mind
Yeah.
getting into it now. Yeah, my wife does
great.
it, and I wouldn't mind doing something with her, I suppose.
Yeah, it's,
there you
it's
go.
Couples
amazing.
thing. Mm.
And we get loads, like down at Backdale, we got loads of lads coming. Plenty of times. A lot of lads will be like, you know, would you do a lads only type class? And you're just like, yeah, like you
Beer.
could. But like at the same time, I think everyone just needs to get more comfortable around, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
you
Being
know.
around other
It's
people.
a lot
Yeah.
like going to the gym.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah,
Same thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, the gym can be so daunting,
Mm.
you know, going in there and you're just thinking, Jesus, like, is everyone, am I doing this right? And
Mm.
you see all those awful videos as well of people making an arse themselves in the gym, and that doesn't help you either. Cause you're just like,
Them videos, yeah.
that's
Yeah.
me.
Will we do at the end of the podcast? We do shell bombs.
Yeah.
So it's just a little thing where we fire little facts. Don't be looking at mine, you.
Sorry.
So I've got a little fact here.
Oh.
Did you know that some people have a condition called aphantasia, where they're unable to visualize images in their mind? They can see with their eyes, but they can't create a mental image. So do you know, say, if you close your eyes, try and picture an elephant. Now try and picture an elephant on top of a zebra on a unicycle.
Yeah.
See? You can see it, and everyone at home can see it. But there's a condition where you can't make
It's
mental
just-
images.
It's just black when you close your eyes.
Yeah. Isn't
Oh,
that
wow.
weird? Isn't that weird?
So it's going to be something about Anastasia or something.
There you go. Anastasia. Right, go on.
Okay, so penalty kicks.
Right?
All right. So when football began way back when, there wasn't actually any penalty kicks.
Right.
There was no penalties. And do you want to know who invented penalties? Or the rule and got the rule passed or whatever?
Someone who was bad at football, I'm guessing.
No, well, he's actually Irish.
Oh,
And
right.
he's from,
Take
he's
it
from
back.
a place called Milltown in Armagh.
All right.
And I have to credit the Addicted to Footy TikTok, because that's where I've seen it today.
Right.
So a guy, and he does the history of different things in football and stuff. It's a guy called William McCrum in 1890, because he was sick and tired of forwards going in and just getting milled out of it.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
No, there you go.
That's a
So-
fair one. Have you
penalties.
seen the version of penalty kicks in America where they run from the halfway
Oh
line?
yeah, but that was in the 90s in the MLS.
It's like a 1v1
You used to be
thing.
able to do that on FIFA 98.
That's gone now, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
yeah.
Soccer over in America is more like football now rather than soccer.
Women's World Cup coming up soon.
Tis indeed.
It's going to be class.
Go on the Irish.
John Boyd.
I've no shell bomb, but I have a funny story of something that happened today.
Right.
Oh,
Because
okay.
we were talking about artificial grass earlier.
Okay.
We do free grass samples, right? And
Okay.
we get maybe like whatever 10, 20 a day or something like that. We walked into the shop this morning and there was 450 requests for grass samples. And we were like, what the hell just happened? We were either hacked or we were like featured on the news or something like that. So we went in and there was all these random names of like Bend Over and all these fake names and addresses and all these kind of stuff and numbers. And we went through and we were like, oh, obviously that's fake. But ones were coming in every single minute. So by the end of the day, there was like 600, 700.
Right.
And we couldn't gather what was going on. We tried ringing all the numbers. A load of kids were answering. And they were all like giggling, oh, shut up, you fool. All this kind of stuff and hanging up. I got through to one person, a girl. I could hear playground in the back. And I was like, I know what's going on here. You guys are messing and requesting loads of samples. He said, "Oh, I'm not doing it." I said, "Well, what's going on? Why are we getting so many samples?" He said, "There's a TikTok trend
Oh no.
that of young people like 16, 17-year-old. You go and send free samples to your ex. You send free artificial grass samples to your ex's house.
Artificial grass.
Artificial grass samples.
Specifically grass.
Yeah. You could show that the grass is greener on the other side.
That's deadly.
Yeah. I'll show you. Like, it's on TikTok. Search up hashtag free grass. And
Did anybody
it's just
actually
kids.
buy any grass off you?
No.
What's the name of your
They're
website?
all looking for the free.
Outdoorliving.ie.